Addition and subtraction. So we are going to do standard algorithm. So that means I'm going to start at my ones place. So I'm going to start at my ones place. I'm going to add 5 plus 2 is 7. Then I'm going to go to my next place value, which is my tens place. 9 plus 2 is 11, but I can't put 11 here because I can only put one digit. So I'm going to put my 1, my other 1 goes to the top. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. And then here I have nothing to add to 7. So it's just like saying 7 plus 0. So I'm just going to put 7. So my answer is 7,617. All right, let's try another one. Make sure that you are using your dry erase board or paper and try solving with us. So when an equation is written horizontally, I'm going to take it, I'm going to make it vertical. So I'm going to say 2,214, 1,795. And the reason why I do this is because then I'm lining it up by place value and I'm less likely to make a mistake. So now I'm going to add using standard algorithm. 4 plus 5 is 9. 1 plus 9 is 10, but I can't put 10 there because I can only put one digit in that place value. So I'm going to put my 0 of my 10 and put the 1 at the top. 1 plus 2 plus 7. I know 1 plus 2 is 3, and then 3 plus 7 is 10. Again, I cannot put more than one digit in that place value. So I'm going to put my 0, my 1 goes to the top. That makes my 10. Now I'm going to say 1 plus 2 plus 1 is going to give me 4. So my answer is 4,009. Let's try another one. Again, use your dry erase board or paper to solve it with me. 3 plus 7 is 10. Cannot put my 10 in the place value because I can only put one digit. So I'm going to put a 0, carry my 1 to the top. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. So I'm going to put my 1 here, carry my 1 to the top. Okay, I know there's not a number there, but you're still going to carry it to the top. 1 plus 2 is 3. So my answer is 3,160. All right, now we're moving on to subtraction. All right, so with subtraction, if I don't have enough value there in that place value, I'm going to have to borrow. So we're going to practice borrowing. So make sure you have your dry erase board or paper to practice. All right, 1 minus 1 is 0. I can do that. Taking 7 from 1, can't do that. If I only have 1, can't take 7 from it. So I'm going to come over to the next place value and I'm going to borrow 1. So that 5 becomes a 4 and that 1 becomes 11 because I'm going to add that. I'm bringing it over actually 10. And I'm actually saying 10 plus 1 that I'm bringing over, right? I'm adding it to it. So 10 plus 1 is 11. 11 minus 7, I can do that, right? 11 minus 7 will give me 4. And then I go to the next place value. Well, I can't take 8 from 4. So I'm going to have to go over and borrow from my neighbor. I'm going to borrow from my neighbor. I'm going to come over and knock on my neighbor's door. I'm like, hello, neighbor, let me borrow. And I'm going to borrow from them. I'm going to borrow 1 so that I'm going to take that 8 becomes a 7. That 4 becomes a 14. 14 minus 8 is going to give me 6. And then 7 minus 3 is 4. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, another one that is lined up horizontally, but I'm going to flip it and make it vertical. Because then I can see each place value lined up. Okay, 7 minus 1 is 6. 5 minus 8, can't do it. That 5 is smaller than that 8. The number on top is smaller, and I can't reverse the numbers because this is subtraction. You always put the bigger number on top. Can't reverse that number, okay? Cannot. That's going to still be a 5. So I'm going to come over to the 2, borrow 1. That 5 becomes a 15. 15 minus 8 is 7. Go to my next place value. 1 minus 2. Another. Can't do it, right? Going to come over, cross off my 8. It becomes a 7. My 1 becomes an 11. 11 minus 2 is going to give me 9. And then 7 minus 3 is 4. So my answer is 4,976. All right, let's try again with borrowing. 3 minus 2 is 1. 5 minus 0, can't do it. I cannot take 5 from 0. So I'm going to go over to my neighbor. I'm going to borrow. That 1 becomes a 0. That 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 0 minus 2, another one. I can't do it, right? Got to go over to my neighbor. Hey, neighbor, can I borrow? And I'm going to borrow 1. And so I'm going to change that 4 to a 3. And then the 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. And then 3 minus nothing or 0 is 3. So my answer is 3,851. All right, let's try it with a word problem. A forest has 357 oaks and 529 maples. How many more maples than oaks are there? So I'm going to have to that clue there is many more, which means that I'm going to have to subtract. I got to find out how many more that they have than the other number, okay? So I'm going to say 529 minus 357. 9 minus 7 is 2. 2 minus 5, can't do it, right? Gonna cross off my 5. I'm gonna borrow 1 from my neighbor, make it a 4. And then my 2 is gonna become a 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. 4 minus 3 is 1. So my answer is 172, which is B. All right, let's look at another word problem. A college stadium can hold 8,225 football fans. The stadium has sold tickets to 5,439 fans to its first game of the year. How many more fans can buy tickets to that game? Again, there's that keyword, many more, which means that I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to subtract 5,439 from 8,225. So 5, can I take 9 from 5? Nope. 5 is too small. So I'm going to go over to my neighbor. I'm going to borrow from my neighbor. That 2 becomes a 1. That 5 becomes a 15. 15 minus 9 is going to give me what? 6, right? Go to the next place value. 1 minus 3. Can't do it, right? Got to go to my neighbor. I'm going to go to my neighbor 2. Cross off the 2. It becomes a 1. The other 1 becomes an 11. 11 minus 3 is going to give me 8. All right, move to my next place value. 1 minus 4. Can't take 4 from 1. If I only have 1, don't have enough. Got to go over to my neighbor, borrow from my neighbor. My neighbor is 8. 8 becomes a 7 because I'm borrowing 1. And then I bring it over, and that becomes an 11. 11 minus 4 is going to give me 7. And then 7 minus 5 is 2. I don't have to regroup there. All right, get out a sheet of paper and try these equations. Practice and see if you can do these correctly. Now be careful and look, make sure that you're looking at what you are actually doing. So make sure that you're looking to see if are you supposed to be adding, are you going to be subtracting, and practice this. So pause the video and practice addition and subtraction.